Welcome, you're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. President Petro Poroshenko has invited Irish low-cost airline Ryanair to create an IT hub in Ukraine. He met with the company's management. Now Ryanair plans to invest $1.5 billion in Ukraine, expanding its passenger traffic to 5 million people. To talk more about this, we welcome to the studio today Yulia Kovaliv. She is the head of the Office of the National Investment Council of Ukraine. Hello, and thank you for coming.
Hello, thank you.
So, what is the outcome of the negotiations?
I would say that just this week was very fruitful in terms of welcoming in Ukraine the good news from the airlines and from the mobility inside and outside the country, because this week we had meetings with the management of one of the biggest actually low-cost airlines globally, Ryanair. We just recently entered Ukrainian market, and they're not just stopping on that first step of launching the flights which they've recently announced in Ukraine, but they are also looking at how to deeper expand the activities in Ukraine. And this visit of the management of the company reassured that the company is not only looking to expand on different both domestic and international routes in Ukraine, but also looking for more deep cooperation, including the potential creation of the IT hub, so the internal development center for Ryanair, which could be located in Ukraine.
Let's talk more about this IT hub. What is the project? What is it going to be? What's going to be the purpose and the aim of this IT hub? How to paraphrase, how Ukraine and Ukrainian people are going to benefit from it?
Of course, you know that now IT sector is one of the highly developing sector of Ukrainian economy, and it's now provide a huge support to overall export of the services outside the country. This year, we estimate that the IT service export will reach $4 billion on the annual basis, which quite a promising figure, as the sector is growing, has already grown for 8 times in the last 7 years. Of course, Ukraine has the much competitive advantage of locating such kinds of the IT cluster, IT hub, because we have very well trained and skilled IT specialists. And of course, we already creating this IT infrastructure, including the IT cluster, special development centers. The education and the higher education is brought more close to the sectors and the business needs. And so within Ryanair, the company is now looking on the different areas and the different countries to build their fourth R&D and IT center. And we still believe that decision for the company will be made in favor of Ukraine, because no doubt we have here competitive advantage, and we are the best in terms of location, people, improving business climate, and a possibility to company not only to create the products here, but also with enlarging their presence in the business, they can also test their products in Ukraine as well.
When is the decision of the Ryanair's management is expected to be voiced to arrive?
I think we will look on the next few months. So the company, and we usually want as Ukrainians to have these quick wins. Today made, tomorrow decision. The company is usually making their decision a little bit longer. And that's why I think in the next few months we will hear the decision, and we hope and we are trying our best that decision will come positive.
Ryanair is not the only airline that is stepping on Ukraine's ground for business development. We're also talking Wizz Air. How is that going?
So Wizz Air is the company who was working for the longer period of time in Ukraine, and they were both doing the foreign flights and domestic flights. Unfortunately, in 2015, the company left the market, left the local market in Ukraine, and was focused.
And now it's back in business.
And now, just this week, they announced they are coming back to their business inside Ukraine. So they are creating the Ukrainian subsidiary. What does it mean? Actually, it means that the low cost will fly inside Ukraine. so that the low-cost airlines will connect Ukrainian cities and will allow our citizens, the people, to travel quicker and much cheaper, which all increase the mobility for the people, for the tourists, and for the economy as well. It also means that the company will also pay here taxes, hire Ukrainian people, and also they are looking forward to find skilled Ukrainian craft and the pilots to be hired for that planes. They will do their service. They will locate the plane fleet, up to 10 planes that will be located in Ukraine as the base. What does it mean? Besides, we will all benefit with the cheaper air tickets. It means that the confidence in the business community and the confidence from the foreign companies is increasing, and they are ready to not only provide the services to Ukraine, but also be in Ukraine, be as a legal entity and invest their money, their efforts, their personnel here in the country.
Would you say that the decisions of these two airlines to come back and work in Ukraine are actually a proof that the investment climate in Ukraine is getting more and more attractive?
I would say that it is one of those big number of pillars that build this investors' confidence, because we still believe that the best ambassadors for the improvement of the business climate of Ukraine is such kind of the news. Then more and more foreign companies are coming here, then they have a success stories, they tell their success stories to the business community globally, and that is important to persuade and to fight with these precautious about Ukraine, which still unfortunately exist in different countries. So they are our ambassadors, and we are really happy that more and more international companies are coming to Ukrainian market, are establishing here their offices and building plans, doing their investments in the country.
Overall, how would you evaluate the situation on Ukraine's investment market these days?
So there are some figures that can be the burst proof. The country is improving in the doing business rate. It's something independent that the World Bank is doing throughout 180 countries. And Ukraine is significantly for the last 4 years increasing that rate. What does it mean? It does not mean that we are doing enough, but it means when the country is increasing its rate in the doing business, it means that we are running a little bit faster than all of the other countries, because nobody stands. Everybody is trying to compete. Everybody is doing liberalization, deregulation, and the other stuff. So this time, our increase in 5 positions mean that from the peers that we have in the previous year, we were more quicker, we were more efficient to do more. And I would say we have some things also already done that will be measured in the doing business rate for the next year. So I think that we have a good already background for the further increase in the doing business rate, even for which is called Doing Business 2020. As it comes to the real sector and the real money, we see that more and more companies have the confidence in the future, meaning that, we are looking on all of the pools that the biggest business associations are providing. The business, like 80% of business, are hiring new people, increasing salaries, looking for new projects to develop, investing into the new plants, new facilities, expanding their activities in Ukraine, which means that is the positive signal that the companies are not only talking about the business climate improvement, they are supporting this business climate improvements with their money, with their capital.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
That was Yulia Kovaliv. She is the head of the Office of the National Investment Council of Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned with UATV.